Hey everyone, I'm James Prush.
And I'm Brian Barrier.
And we work with Christian Heritage, a nonprofit that exists to help every child flourish in the face of adversity and trauma. We're really sorry we can't be with you in person today, but that's why we made this video, so that we could share with you how we can partner together to see this vision become a reality in Nebraska.
For over 40 years, Christian Heritage has been helping Nebraska's children in the foster care system. Unfortunately, foster care will probably always be around. However, we are shifting our focus. We are emphasizing much more on preventative care through a program called Families Together. Families Together mobilizes the church to help families that are in crisis. We work with these families to provide temporary care of their children before abuse and neglect happens. The one thing that I absolutely love about this program is there's no state contracts, no money involved, and it is all volunteer.
Families Together has two major goals. First, we want to reduce the number of children entering foster care each year. And second, and more importantly, we want to help vulnerable children and families find meaningful connections with the faith community. This goal is significant because most of the families we serve lack the deep relational connections to a community that can help them in times of crisis. And we're dependent on strategic partnerships with churches like yours to help you be trained, supported, and connected to families in need.
So there are 3 different ways that you can get involved. The first way is to become a host home. We provide training and we walk you through the process of being trained and becoming approved to have the opportunity to take in children. The second way to get involved is become a family advocate. They serve as a mentor to these parents to encourage them, to listen to them, and help them as they pursue their goals. And the last way to get involved is to be a part of a care community. A care community surrounds the host homes to ensure that this hosting is successful. They could help with them transportation, with meals, or even respite, whatever this family needs.
So no matter your capacity, skills, experiences, or even your stage of life, you can help keep a family together. And no matter what role you choose, you will be trained and supported by Christian Heritage. For host homes and care community members, your initial training will be online and self-paced. For family advocates, you'll have a mix of in-person and online training. For everyone, you'll be connected with one of our staff members who will make sure that you stay on track and help you process what you're learning. Ultimately, this isn't so much a program as it is a movement of God's people across Nebraska to serve vulnerable children and their families. Everyone can do something to help keep families together.
And now we'd like to show you a video, a real-life example of how Families Together works. This is Michelle and Odin's story.
I wanted my child so badly, and it wasn't like I didn't want him. I just felt like I had, like, everything that could go wrong was going wrong, and that I had almost, I felt like, no other options. So Odin was born, and the father's not involved. He's never wanted to be involved. So I went through my pregnancy completely alone, just doing it on my own. I immediately had postpartum depression. I kind of just started right away. I was extremely scared to be alone with him by myself. I felt like I didn't know what to do, how to take care of him. I just felt like completely inept and being able to care for my child. And I'm just paralyzed kind of in a way. As the days went by, instead of becoming like more and more comfortable with caring for him and trying to feel hopeful about how this was going to turn out for me, it just kept getting worse and worse. Something had to change because I kept thinking, like I can't do this. I can't imagine doing this tomorrow. In the state that I was, I could not imagine trying to push through that and parent my child. So at that point, I started thinking maybe I'm not the best option here, like for him, you know. One of my friends from high school, she also has some foster kids, so I asked her if she knew of like just any programs that might take Odin in for a while I could try and figure out like if I could get over the postpartum and get to a more stable place to make that kind of decision whether or not I was going to do adoption. So, and she knew about Families Together, and she was the one that told me about it. When I got a call back and they said they had found a family that was willing to take Odin in, I was just so relieved.
we really believe in giving people the support that they need to be successful. Parenting's hard. So whatever that looks like, we got space in our home, so we wanted to take kids if they needed a safe place to stay.
Hearing about Michelle and Odin definitely hit close to home for me. I struggled with some postpartum anxiety and depression after we had our first son, and if it weren't for having John as just like a huge support, I don't know where I'd be. Like, it's just like, to do it as a single mom is so hard.
You would think it would be really anxiety producing to like hand over your small infant to complete strangers, because at that point they were complete strangers to me. And I just remember even walking up to them, and after our meeting was over and we had kind of talked, and I hugged them and I said, I know God sent you to me.
There's a lot of strength and humility in her, even having the awareness, like initially, to say, I need help.
Yeah.
And to even come to the conclusion of, I'm willing and open to having perfect strangers care for my son while I get help. Mm-hmm. So I admire that, and I look up to that a lot.
They took such good care of Odin and really bonded with him and truly loved him, and they provided support and a real relationship. Going through that experience, the more people who support you, the better you'll do.
Michelle and I often say, like, we needed each other. I needed a baby boy to snuggle for a few months. I was losing my mom to cancer at the time, and he brought so much joy to our lives in a really hard season of life, and she needed us to care for him so she could get the help that she needs.
John and Lindsay, obviously, I've told them a million times that I genuinely love them. I really do consider them part of my family now, and vice versa. I'm just so grateful that they were able to give me the gift of time so I could be the mom that I wanted to be to my son and experience the joy that I have from him, being with him every day. I mean, I know that it would have been the biggest mistake of my life to give him up. They gave me an amazing gift.
To see them together it's just so humbling that God used us.
I feel like the hero in the story is Michelle.
She's such a good mom to Odin.
She's a good mom.
We love that story, and we know that you and your group can also make a difference in the life of a family like Michelle and Odin. So here's what we're asking. Here's what we'd love for you to consider. Would you consider taking the host home training with you and your group? It's about a 10-hour training, and it's all online and self-paced. You can either do it as a group or some parts of it individually. Now, if your whole group went through the host home training, not everybody has to be a host home, but everybody in your group will understand what it takes to serve a vulnerable child and their family. Now, what if you and some others just want to be advocates? Well, we would definitely work with you so that you're not overwhelmed with training. To take this first step in serving a vulnerable child, email Brian at brianb@chne.org or contact Ashley Yeakley and we'll get you set up. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to partnering with you.